Hello, 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 everyone, and fantastic Friday to you. I know that my day is typically on Tuesday. However, we had some technical difficulties on Tuesday with this amazing couple, and I decided that we deserve to hear their story. So we are going live on this Friday night. So, first of all, I want to tell them thank you for joining me again so that we can get an opportunity to hear this beautiful story because it really is such a sweet story. As I stated on Tuesday, this couple I've seen Brittney out quite a bit, just off and on. And for a while, I didn't know Brittney was married, but now I understand why. Her husband is a DJ. So as the summer started on, I would see her out. I was like, oh, I get it. I see it. I get it. So, seeing them together, I always really thought that they were best friends just because of the chemistry that they have out of public, in public. They have a really cool vibe about them, and I really, really dig what they represent as a couple. So I am really excited about you all having an opportunity to hear their story, how they got to where they are now. So without further ado, I present to you all the Sessoms. Hey guys.
Hi.
Hello again. How are you? So, how are you on this Friday? I know it was eventful, but we're here.
Yes, we're doing my favorite day, so I'm cool.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So we're gonna jump all the way in. But first of all, I really am excited because I want Brittney to share this story about how y'all met because it's so empowering.
Yeah. My version or his version?
No, let me hear. No. I want to hear his version because he gives more details.
He does.
When we started off, it was a house party, little gathering at my old crib, and of course I was DJing, and Brittney came in the front door and kind of checked me out a little bit from down the hallway. So she goes in the kitchen. I come in there like 10 minutes later with my roommate, introduce us, and he's like, I go in and give her a handshake. She's like, I don't do hugs. I don't do handshakes. All I do is hugs. So got a hug off top. And then proceed to DJ, I'm checking the vibes, making the vibes right. And I keep hearing just, howlers and screams out of the kitchen. Like, who is that making that noise? What's going on in there? So I keep seeing feet kick up and she's hollering. If you know Brittney, she encourages all artists to do their thing. If she loves it, she's gonna make some noise and, support you. So throughout the night, all I hear is screams and yells and kicks. And then end of the night, I'm back in my room chilling. And I kind of catch her out the corner of my eye leaving, and I didn't think twice about it. Then maybe 2 hours later, I get a message in my Facebook inbox. And it was her. Got the shot.
Yeah, I shot the shot. Slam dunk, though. So.
And it was a question that I didn't ask last time. Brittney, did you stay in the kitchen the entire time?
I did because the way their house was set up, he was in the living room over at his DJ table, and we were all in the kitchen mingling right at the table. So actually, though, this was actually how I was sitting. I was sitting right here, and he was facing towards me at his thing.
I couldn't see her, though. I could see her legs.
Yeah, he was in the dark.
But I couldn't
see her. We were all at the table. So we weren't really like dancing like that. He was just providing just vibes. And we were all sitting around talking. Your cousin was there, Ebony, and it was because Irene had come in town. It was playoff weekend or something. Mm-hmm. So we really were just chilling. I think it was the night after love too, maybe.
Okay.
Tuesday for sure. Okay. And so yeah, I stayed in the kitchen. So I stayed in the kitchen, and yeah, that's where we were mingling.
Okay. Yeah. So what was it about him, Brittney, that caught your attention?
I don't know because it's funny because when he walked in, he wasn't. Like, how you usually sit down like, oh, he's fresh, he smells good, look at his shoes. It wasn't that kind of thing. But it was something like about his eyes. It was very gentle and very inviting. And so I was just like, no, I don't give hugs. I mean, I don't shake hands. I give hugs.
And was that the truth or was that your line?
That was my game, girl. That was my game. And I actually couldn't even believe I said it. I was like, no, I don't give hugs, but creative in the moment.
Yeah.
I don't give handshake. That's what it was. I was like, I don't give handshakes. I give hugs. Which I am a hugger in general, right? But I wouldn't. I would do that to a woman. Hug a woman first, not a guy. But yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, so Justin, when you got the DM, what was going on in your head?
It was very intriguing. Shocking, of course, because you don't see that very often.
Right.
Shooting her shot. But very, very, very intriguing, very exciting. She spoke very well. Had a nice little intro.
Intro?
Yeah, she gave me the good two paragraph intro.
He shared it before on Facebook.
It was amazing. I had no choice but to see what it was about. I mean, like I said, if she did it and what she said, it was like, I'd be dumb not to try and see what she talked about. At least going on a date or just respond back, have a little conversation. So it was very, very.
Brittney, I didn't know you had an intro.
What did I say? It was something like, I think I might have said, hi, because. And before I sent it, though, I asked Derek, I said, is he single? And so Derek was like, yes, he's single. And I was like, no, is he single? Because you know how guys can be, they do their thing. And so Derek was like, no, he's single. And so I asked him for his contact. And so I think I may have said something like, hi, Mr. Sessoms, if I may call you that. you mixed your way into my soul or something jazzy like that, I mean, literally, he did. It was the mixing was phenomenal. If you've heard him DJ, then you know.
Yes.
But I look creative with it,
Look at you. Okay. So how do we end up from the DMs on our first date?
It was just kind of random and natural.
Well, I think the first one was what he said. So when we were talking, it kind of went organically because it wasn't like, how sometimes when you meet a person, there's kind of this pressure like, oh my God, I don't want to call or I don't want to text. I don't want to, do too much too soon. And so it kind of happened organically. And he was like, I'm DJing at, Bahama Breeze? And my little sister had moved here that night. And so I was like, oh, okay, DJing Bahama Breeze. I hope it goes well, and I just said, I'm going to go.
Popped up.
And I went and I took my camera. So he looked up and I was over there shooting him. Look at
you. Yeah, creepy, right? But it was cute. So I had to go.
It was not creepy because you told me about it. You just knew I was going to come.
Yeah, she pulled up. We hung out later that night, too.
Yeah.
I had a late night gig at Oasis later on. So, you know what I'm saying? Like 3 in the morning, hung out with Fox and Hound afterwards.
Yeah. We did a lot.
It was an impromptu first date. Our official first date was at Huey's.
Yeah.
We're both hungry. Let's get something.
We were sitting around with all of his friends because, like I said, it just kind of went organically, and we were just like, okay, we're hungry. I think like his friends' children were going to go with us at first, and so we just were like, well, we're going to go to Huey's to get some food. So that was like official by ourselves, no one else, because the Fox and the Hound date was a lot of his friends around and my little sister. We were just hanging out generally with everybody.
Okay. So, Justin, at what point did you realize that you wanted to get serious?
I'd say maybe after a few weeks, honestly.
Aww.
Very long. Because, Brittney's spirit, who she is, like the way she speaks, the way she carries herself, she's very intelligent, very beautiful. It's like I said, it was unintentional, but it was very much appreciated when she shouted me out and came and copped in my DMs. After a few weeks, truthfully, it was like, kind of want to see where it's going to go.
Okay.
I just didn't turn back from there.
Okay. So did you say, okay, Brittney, I want this to be a little more serious. I want you to be my girlfriend. How did that go?
Oh, that took, what was it? We were at Oasis again?
We were in the car, yeah. A lot happened at Oasis, and we were in the car, and he definitely asked, he's like, I want you to be my girlfriend. And which was different because, a lot of times men are just vocal about what it is. I think I hear women talk about all the time, like, trying to figure out what it is or where it's going or what are we type of thing.
And she wouldn't actually announce it until I announced it. I could tell she was waiting for me to ask it. It was my girlfriend, but it was like, I ain't gonna say nothing until you say something.
I already made the first move, right? And I came to the event. I did a lot, so
Yeah, that one was on me.
Yeah, you know, and then too, having dated other people and having that confusing line, like, I don't know what we are, what are we doing, we're in this situationship. You know, you kind of learn your lesson. You're like, okay, next time it's got to be very clear.
Correct.
And we'll make it clear. And so,
correct. Okay. All right. Were you nervous? Justin, were you nervous?
Not necessarily, because we took a lot of time just getting to know each other, you know, hanging out.
Okay.
At each other's houses, just really just talking and laughing, having a good time. So at the time when I felt like it was, you know, necessary to make another step.
Okay.
I didn't think she was gonna say no.
much.
So Brittney, we talked about this before. So at what point did he meet the children?
It was a long ways down the line. So I think we met in June. I think he asked about like August 20 something, end of August. He probably didn't meet them until maybe after our birthdays. Our birthdays are 4 days apart. So it was probably like 3 or 4 months. Because for a little while, it kind of just lined up. Bryson would be with his father on weekends. And then Brahma, my best friend's mother, stayed right across the next street over. And so she would keep him from me while I went to Oasis. And I would get up like 6 in the morning and go get him. And then we go on home. And so, or if he came to my house, they were already in bed. So it was quite a while. And the only reason why it wasn't hard is because that my best friend's mom lived across the street. Otherwise, I don't think we probably would have been able to see one another that much, obviously. Because Mama was young, like maybe 6 or 7 months, yeah.
Okay. So the introduction of the children, was it a easy fix? Justin, were you nervous about me? Do you have kids, Justin?
No.
Other than the baby that's on the way?
Only one right here.
Okay, nice. So how did that go over?
Well, of course, Bram was a baby. He was. Me and Bram always kicked it off from the beginning. I think me and Bryce had a little friction.
Yeah.
But just kind of just playing with him, getting to know him better, talking to him, sharing some of my interests with him, like movies and action figures and comics. We both were into those. We bonded out that real quick.
Nice.
Just from there.
Okay.
And I remember him talking through. Remember Bryson's 5th birthday party was near his house, but he didn't come. But he would talk through the phone to the children. So, you know, that was kind of like their preamp.
Okay, very, very sweet. The proposal.
We didn't really have one. It was really unconventional. We just were like, let's go get married.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Okay.
It was MLK Day.
Yeah.
But then we got married.
Yeah.
We both off of work, and I was like, you know, let's go get married. And she was like, for real? And of course, Brittney's like, let's do it. So, yeah, we gotta go for it. We're gonna go do it.
So did you go to the courthouse?
Went down to the courthouse.
We actually just went to the courthouse to get our license. You know, after that, you have to go get married. So our friend, who's probably watching, Courtney Franklin, he's a well-known.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he came to our house and we got married on our couch.
Oh, sweet.
Actually, to this day, we have not. We were going to have a ceremony, but we wanted it on a Friday, and everybody was like, "Oh, that's so complex." So we still haven't had a ceremony. Justin wants to. I don't want to. I'm very.
We're gonna do some kind of party.
Okay. Right. A celebration of some sort.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit. You know, we planned it last year, and then COVID hit. You know, at that time we were gonna plan it, and then it just kind of fizzled out to just plan for a 3-year anniversary party. So we're gonna have it soon enough. When everything goes back to calming down and people are out of quarantine officially.
So we were on the couch, and Frank came over. And of course, he's known us since we're dating, and you know he obviously knows that we were pretty healthy for one another. So of course he wouldn't have signed off on any crap or anything. But he came over to our home and he signed that stuff for us. We talked a little bit, and that was it. We were married. We sent the thing off the next day, and it was on the people got married.
Wow.
We actually didn't tell anybody for a month. Right before we posted it on Facebook, we called all of our family the night before. Like, I think we went to go sit down and talk to his parents maybe 2 days before everybody. And we called aunts, uncles, my dad, my mom, everybody. And then the next day we posted on Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, very smart. Very smart. Very, very smart. So, Justin, you are a DJ. So, your DJ life, the bartender and the DJ are typically the last people to leave a party. Has that shifted? Well, us before COVID, had that shifted or changed? Now coming into a family, a wife.
Not so much. I mean, a lot of my gigs on weekends, and I'm able to take off work so I can make sure I'm there to do them. Of course, they're usually in the evenings, so and they're not like it's not like it's Friday, Saturday every single week. Okay. So I'm like a mobile DJ, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I actually in the club at a residency, so I'm able to travel or to pick up a gig here and there, and it's not really conflicts with our day-to-day schedule.
Okay.
But we're not out anyway. They're always usually asleep. She's always there, I guarantee you. But if not, it's usually not a conflict for us.
Okay. Beautiful, beautiful.
Like his gigs, the children can actually go. We don't take them all the time because who wants to take their children with them all the time? But one of his, it's kind of like almost a residency. He frequents there, the Bluff. They have a little backstage area with a TV and a couch, and they don't mind the children coming back there. But we don't make that a habit because obviously we don't want them to go.
Yeah. Right. You need a date night. Yes.
Right.
Okay, Brittney, talk to us about your career and what you're doing now.
So before I became a work-at-home mom and this whole pandemic hit, I was into logistics. And before that, I was a server. Anybody who knows me, I love serving. I'm just serving by nature. But in that field, you meet a lot of people. And so, of course, I got approached with this opportunity, had never sold anything. And my boss at the time, who's probably watching, hey, Rob, kind of just saw something in me and was like, you can sell freight. And I was like, I've never sold a thing. I'm a server. No, I'm a service person. And he's like, no, I'm pretty sure you can do this. And so I became a freight broker, and I was in that for about 3 to 4 years before the pandemic hit. So I was laid off January 10th. And so my family construct has changed with the elders and stuff. They're not able to keep those children. And so I was forced to stay home because of virtual learning. I still don't want Bryson to go. So if you knew me a year ago, you could not pay me to charge someone what I really thought herbalism or consulting by way of nutrition and lifestyle was worth. But I just kind of dropped that fear, and it's carried me through this time. So I'm grateful for it.
Very good. Very good. So where did this love for the herbs and healing stem from?
It's always been a part of me. As a little girl, I would play under the medicine cabinet, and when somebody was sick, I would try to doctor on them. And my grandmother would make hot toddies with honey and stuff, medicine, things like that. And so it kind of just was like seeds planted. And so when Bryson and I moved into our first home by ourselves, I would say things like, I'm never going to feed my child McDonald's and stuff like that. Obviously, I've done that, right? But it was just little things that I would say to myself and that I noticed along the line who were deaf. I look back and say, I've always been this person. And so it just kind of started out from there as a child. And then when I moved with Bryson, it's like, okay, I'm not going to buy the processed chicken nuggets. I'll just get some chicken breasts, chop it up, and make them grill barbecue chicken with strawberries instead of fries. Small things like that. Until one day I just threw out the entire kitchen. I think it was also January 15th. So January 15th and I have this magical thing when I look back in hindsight. It's like, dang, I do a lot on that day. And I just threw everything out of the kitchen and didn't know anything about cooking, nothing. Relearned, and then everybody's like, well, what are you going to do for protein? And so I had to dig down that hole, ran into Dr. Savy and started there and just, honed the knowledge that I was getting into wisdom. I think when I started dating Justin, had gotten very disciplined, and I would take my food with me if I were spending the night. I was that kind of, I'm still that rigid. But here we are 7 years later, full-blown vegan. I started out with just greens and water, focusing on that, and then slowly letting dairy go and more meat go until here we are.
Okay. So, and how does that work in your household? Justin, are you a full-blown vegan?
I am not.
Okay.
I eat chicken and meat.
Okay. So explain how that works. Are you cooking a lot of different meals, Brittney?
No. So, okay. Now, they've been having some fun while I've been pregnant, right? Because, energy levels fluctuate. And, just beans and stuff take a long time. But on a normal basis, they don't get any of that stuff. So I don't even buy apple juice. No kind of, I don't buy anything like that. So I cook plant-based, and that's what they normally eat. So while they're not vegan, on a normal day, like outside of me being pregnant, they don't have any animal things here at home, any sugar, any grains that aren't whole here. The rule was, and it's probably going to go back that way, you have to eat those things outside of the house. They're not here. So, we ain't
going back. We're not going back. No, I'm kidding.
You can eat it if we're out and we do, you grab something or something. But at home, whatever you all see me post, that's what they're eating.
Yeah, and it's not really that bad for me personally. Maybe a struggle for the children. Like, I enjoy eating cleaner. I tried it for about a month straight, and it wasn't that bad. I definitely felt different. I wake up and my body feels different when I finish eating. So I definitely enjoyed that time when I did it. I just wasn't ready to dedicate myself to it yet. Yeah. So probably when the baby comes and she begins to feel a little bit more energy, cook more, I'm definitely going to try to get back on that train. Be more disciplined with it for a longer period of time.
Okay. Very good. Very good. So as far as conflicts, how do you all resolve disagreements?
Mostly just through communication. I mean, there were times when it was tough. I'm not a very big, initiator of communicating and talking about problems usually. Mm-hmm. It takes time to just grow and just get to a better place where she recognizes when I'm ready to talk, and also being open to having the conversation and speaking about the tough things. That's the biggest thing. But being open, expressing yourself, give your time to cool off if you are in a space where you're not ready to talk, and just having your partner be okay with that for a moment. But also remembering you have to go back and revisit those conversations, those problems, before they get swept under the rug or become a bigger thing down the line.
Okay.
Mostly it's communication and being open.
Yeah, we kind of, now we've grown to a point where, because at first we were so, we didn't argue for like literally the first maybe 6 months, year, or something like that, because we were just so close and cohesive. So when we start having stuff, it's kind of like, at first you just don't want to say anything. But then, of course, when it gets more serious, you just kind of have to. So now we've grown to a point where we can just say it. There have been enough high-intensity moments where we're like, okay, we don't want that again. And so, of course, those times get fewer and few. And, you just learn how to handle it from there. I think now, you probably will just say it. Like, I think the other day it was like, babe, knock it off. I was waking Preston up in school. And he works in the back of the house, and I forgot, and I didn't mean to yell. But, yeah, so we just kind of say it. But it never lasts for a long time at all.
How excited are you about having a girl?
Oh, extremely excited. I'm ready for her to get here. I mean, she can come now. Well, I care, but.
Well, I'm very excited, of course, having 2 boys. And so I wanted a girl, but my fingers was like, oh, I'm just not going to jinx myself. And so, very excited. I would want her to come tomorrow ASAP too. But with me being vegan, my platelets have dropped. Obviously, in the 3rd trimester, you use a lot more blood supply. And so my platelets have dropped. And so I just found out about it like at 36 weeks. So now, without having energy, I've just kind of like turned into the Hulk within the last week. Like, I got to get back on it and raise my platelets. So while I would like her to come, whenever she's ready, I'm like, ooh, please give me like 2 more good weeks. And then come as you may.
Do as you will. Yes. Justin, what would you say is your favorite thing about Brittney?
My favorite thing? I love how wholehearted she is, how nurturing she is. She's my favorite though about everything. I love how smart she is. She is a bookworm to the end. I mean, we'll study and we'll not watch a video, we'll not watch TV, but we'll read a book any day, anytime. And I hate it, but I love it, because if I'm sick, I know I can go to her like, man, I feel this way. Do this, do that, you're gonna get better within a couple of days. Or if I need to know something or learn about something new, especially about health, she's there to be just my guide, to just put me in the right direction. She won't tell me what to do, but she'll definitely put me in the right direction to be, be the best that I can be. So only her wisdom.
Very, very beautiful. Brittney, same question. What's your favorite thing about Justin?
My favorite thing about Justin is probably his heart. When I first met him, I always ask guys, like, what do y'all do? Or what do y'all talk about? How do you all lean on one another? Women, we have circles all the time, and, we get together and share ourselves and things. And so that was very different for me. It was like, you all are really close. Like, they just genuinely get together and talk and share and have fun. And he just has, like, the biggest heart ever. I think kind of when we first started dating, my mom was working in hotel, which she's been all my life, but she hired him to, I think it was National Black and White Men Together. It was a LGBTQ event. And these transgender women, they had the best time. It was amazing. And he seemed so comfortable. I had a ball with
drag show and everything.
Yes.
My first experience, but it was like, playing music, having a good time, doing my job. So.
It was so fun. He was so comfortable and so unbothered. And they were just like oozing over him. And it was just a great sight to see. And so that, I guess we mirror each other there. He definitely has a heart for the world and will do anything for anyone. And it's just a joy to see men, bond like that. He and his friends are just, it's refreshing for sure.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Where do you see you all in 5 years? Have you set any goals or plans for the future?
Okay. Well, we definitely likely don't want to be in Memphis.
Okay.
We have talked about North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina particularly. Justin's family is from Virginia, so everybody except for his parents, are out on the East Coast. So maybe closer to family, maybe. Home ownership, of course. But yeah, we want to open get a spot for him to have he does it sometimes on his live, but not consistently. But if you've seen him on live, the Losers Club, want to do something with it? Well, you can talk about that.
I'd love to have my own venue or my own night or event I can throw every month, every week if it's exciting like that. But definitely continue to be thriving independently. I also work for Apple too, so I would love to expand my career there as well.
Okay. All right. Very nice. Ooh, news.
I've kind of stepped away from custom herbalism. I only have 2 products now just because I felt like I was just on this assembly line all the time. And so if I could have a little nook somewhere where I can have things stored, that would be great for me to step back into herbalism. But definitely coaching. I want to keep doing that. And just like he said, I won't maybe do it for you, but my goal is to empower you to do it for yourself.
Right.
And so if I have a space like that, I definitely would love that.
Okay. All right. So here's my last question and my favorite question. I think I know the answers already. So, love song. Not a book this time. A love song. What love song would describe you to?
You know what I'm going to say.
Song is Daniel Caesar. You heard the best part.
Yeah.
I know all her favorite songs.
Yeah. Oh, that's a beautiful song too.
It's just the beauty of 2 people. Of course, it's a duet, and a partner is a duet. You have to share in balance, and play your role, but also support, your partner. And she's the best part of me. And I can't. If she went today, I don't know what I'd be doing. It'd be something terrible.
The same. For me, my life was very, very chaotic before him. And, it's just the best part has been knowing that you can turn those traumas and heal those things and what you envision for yourself is attainable. I think I played that song, still to this day, repeats 20,000 times.
To the point where the kids know all the words. Our sons know all the words like we know the words.
I still love that song like it came out yesterday.
Yeah, that's a beautiful song.
It is.
A beautiful song. So, lastly, what advice would you give a young couple, still full of life, still have differences, but at a point where they really don't know what to do? What would be your advice?
I would say to compromise and let live. Like when you ask Justin, how his DJ and being the last person in the room at a club sometime plays into being a husband and a father. Well, I mean, for me, rather than taking offense to those sort of things where a normal person would, try to shift the perspective into joy, because everyone still needs to be and do who they are. Right. Just like he doesn't eat plant-based all the time, and I am very rigid plant-based. I would say definitely leave space and respect for one another to be who they are, and know that change is inevitable. So that person is always changing. I think when I met him, I was eating meat, but I used to always say that, I won't be eating meat forever. And I'm not the type of person to take a long time to process things where he may take some time to transition. I'm just a person, I'm very disciplined. I just decide and I do. But that's me, and so, leave space for who that person is. You can't change them into who you want them to be. And know that could be different next year or next week or, yeah.
I would say always communicate, of course. Support your other significant other and what they do and what they love to do. But also, of course, compromise. Like I said, there's now things that I love to do. She loves to go out to live music. It's not my favorite thing. But over time, it's like I can't just keep standing her up on these shows. So we're gonna come after her. So I had to go over outside of myself and be able to be a part of what she wants to do, be a part of her world.
Yeah.
And vice versa. She always supports all my gigs, and if she can show up, she's always there cheering on the sideline. So it's just compromising and being your partner's biggest supporter, really.
And don't get jealous,
yeah.
Oh, the 17-year-olds down in Oxford, they are DJ Juice crazy. I mean, crazy. They be all over them. But but he's an entertainer. You know what I mean? That's what he's there to do. And literally, he's entertaining them. So, just allow a space to be. That's what I.
And trust your partners and have your best interests at heart. And, even if they mess up, they're not doing it to be spiteful or be hurtful to you. Just maybe a mistake. Talk about it and then grow from it. That's all you can do.
And there will be fights, bad ones. You know what I mean? But I think it's very clear when it's fighting for one another rather than fighting against one another. Like we're fighting because we're both so passionate to be for and to one another individually and collectively. So, discern the difference there. A healthy fight versus when we leave this thing, we've calmed down, we've talked about it, we're going to leave, we're going to proceed with the changes we've discussed rather than constant abuse or, adverse behavior. I think those things are very clear. And so self-assess, and be honest with yourself.
That's big for guys too. A lot of men don't want to change what they're doing or they want to reflect on their, attributes that they cause or their stripes that they cause their significant others. So just be open to reflecting on what you're doing and how it affects your partner. For a long time, I wasn't open to understanding what was causing her struggles until I reflected on myself and what I was doing and heard her part. And we thought about, okay, yeah, that is true. I do this, or I do that. I don't take heed to what she's telling me all the time. I do what I want to do and then fall back, to what she asks. So it's just being able to recognize your faults and make adjustments where needed. You have to. You got to do it, guys.
Yeah. Last one, be of service to one another.
Absolutely.
Take joy in being of service to one another. Whatever that looks like for either person, right? I like my plates to look cute. He could care less, but when he makes my plate, it's cute,
For the Facebook.
I
learned.
But be of service and take pride in being of service. Let it be of joy, enjoyment to you.
That's right. I love y'all. Y'all are so beautiful. This is why this do-over was necessary. There was no way that I was not going to let these people hear all of this. Yeah. I love it. And I'm not ashamed to say I love it because it's Black people that are peaceful, that are calm, that are healthy, that are compromising, that are growing and talking about being of service. So I salute you too. I'm so happy that we had this opportunity. And congratulations to you. So you chill out so you can get another 2 weeks, okay?
Right. I'm begging her every day. I'm like, please don't do anything dramatic, like come during the middle of an ice storm.
Oh, girl, don't even say that. We're going
Yes.
we're not going to even say
Thank
that.
you for having us.
No, thank you. Thank you. Enjoy your weekend and y'all be safe, okay?
All right.
Peace.
A refreshing interview. Again, you see why it was very, very necessary that we hear their story. I too am a service person, and I believe that giving of my service is how I show love. So beautiful, beautiful words of wisdom. Another thing that they said that was absolutely amazing that we definitely don't take into perspective, reflect. Take a moment when you're having a disagreement, take a moment to step back and check yourself to see what did you do to contribute to that situation. Thank you again, Justin and Brittney Sessoms, for sharing your story. Guys, I love you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace, love, and reflection. I'll see you next week.